And here we go. So, oh, okay, no echo, we're good. So hi everyone, thank you for joining us today on our playing games session for in recognition of Children's Day. We hope that you and everyone close to you is healthy and safe. And I just want to start with some quick requests to make the flow of the presentation move along easily. I can't see the chat, but do feel free to post any questions in the chat, and Kasia will monitor it, and we'll either take them as they come along or answer them at a later point if they're more relevant at a different part of the presentation. So we might go over a little bit because I've prepared some content for you, but just in case, hopefully not, I just wanted to let you know if you need to leave early, that's okay. It will be recorded, so you can access the recording at a later time to either reference it again or to watch any parts you missed. So at the end of the webinar, I'll also share with you some free resources that I gathered from this presentation and some of the games that we're going to look at today. Not all are free, but most are. And I guess we can now dig in.
Idalie, can I just translate what you've said a little bit, just to make sure we are organized as perfect as always?
Absolutely.
Szanowni Państwo, mamy takie dwie prośby do Państwa. Bardzo prosimy o to, żeby wyciszyć mikrofony. My tego nie możemy zrobić w Państwa imieniu, także musicie to Państwo zrobić ręcznie. Tutaj dostałam informację, że ktoś nie słyszy. Wiem, że pozostałe osoby słyszą, także bardzo proszę o sprawdzenie, czy może na słuchawkach słychać, albo czy jest włączony dźwięk w komputerze. Gdy pojawią się jakiekolwiek pytania, bardzo proszę zadawać je na czacie. Ja będę monitorować ten czat. Idalie nie widzi czatu prowadząc prezentację, ale ja będę cały czas tutaj z Państwem i do Państwa dyspozycji, więc zapraszamy. Jest nagranie tego webinarium, to znaczy będzie nagranie tego webinarium. Także jeżeli ktoś z Państwa będzie musiał nas wcześniej opuścić, a na pewno przedłużymy, bo zebrało się dużo materiałów, z którym chcemy się podzielić, to umieścimy oczywiście nagranie na naszej stronie. Dziękuję. Thank you, Idalie.
You're welcome. So we're going to have some fun today. I am dressed up as a sheriff, in case you didn't notice. This is what that looks like. This is an adult woman squeezed into a 5-year-old's costume, but I am resourceful and I make do with what I have. So here I am. Let's have some fun together today. And now we're going to dig in and talk a little bit about play and games. So just to start, in case you are unfamiliar with Tobii Dynavox, the company started in 2001 out of the garage of 3 Swedish entrepreneurs who were interested in eye tracking. And today, Tobii Dynavox is the leading eye tracking communication devices and AAC software company. We do software that you're probably familiar with, like Boardmaker, Communicator 5, Snapcore First, and others. So Tobii Dynavox is the assistive technology and AAC business of Tobii Group, which is also comprised of 2 other businesses. Tobii Tech, which is gaming and laptop components or consumer products, and Tobii Pro, which does consumer marketing and research. So we are based in Sweden and in the US, and we have approximately 420 or so employees and representation in about 65 countries, and about 120 partners working all around the world in markets like Poland, with wonderful partners like Kasia from Atabi. So now a little bit about me. My name is Idalie Fernandez, and I'm originally from New York. I also speak Spanish. I have a bilingual heritage, based in Stockholm now, and I am I have a background in media and advertising, and I joined Tobii Dynavox in April 2019, so a little bit over a year ago. And I am the account manager for Eastern and Central European countries and the Baltics. I'm a newbie to AAC and AT, and I'm still learning. So thanks for joining me on this journey. We all know our lovely Kasia. I'm sure you've attended one of her or our webinars in the past, or perhaps you've seen her in the Polish AAC group. She is your local contact in Poland, and you are quite lucky because she is a very experienced speech and language pathologist, having worked both with children and adults, and she's a great resource of knowledge and information in her field and in her expertise with our communication solutions. I learn a lot from her. So you're in great hands with Kasia and Atabi. Anything to add, Kasia?
No, thank you. Thank you for your words. Ja zapraszam Państwa do kontaktu. Firma Atabi jest do Państwa dyspozycji. Tutaj macie Państwo dane, zarówno w sprawie gier, zabaw, urządzeń i oprogramowania do komunikacji. Thank you, Idalie, for all your kind words.
Thanks. Okay, so let's get into what is play. So we're going to look at the different types of games and play and the benefits of learning through play. There are many benefits to learn from play, and I'll talk a little bit about them later rather than going over a very long list of interesting things. So let's look a little bit more at play. So Mr. Rogers is an American or Canadian TV presenter. He is a graduate of Pittsburgh University Graduate School of Child Development, and he collaborated for over 30 years with a child psychologist, Margaret McFarland. And he's also the host of the second longest running children's educational television program in the US, which ran for nearly 40 years and had about 912 episodes. So I think hopefully everyone knows Mr. Rogers, but he says, play is often talked about as if it were relief from serious learning, but play for children is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood, and he was not wrong. There was another peer of his time, or actually before his time, Maria Montessori, who also talked about play being children's work. And she said that play is the work of children, and it's 100% true. Children are employed through play 100% of the time. So it consists of those activities that are performed for self-amusement, that have behavioral, social, and psychomotor rewards. And it is child-directed, and the rewards come from within the individual child. And it's enjoyable and it's spontaneous. So we're going to look at why play is important. So why is it important? So now we can talk a little bit about the benefits of play. Or the benefits of learning through play. So within play, you'll learn problem-solving skills and learning cause and effect, compromise, conflict resolution, sharing, development of fine and gross motor skills, nurturing creativity, imagination, discovering independence, and positive self-esteem. So that's why play is so important and has such value in learning. It's also recognized by the United Nations as a specific right for all children. Play is a safe space for children to explore and understand their environment. They can pretend and use their imagination to be anything they want to be, like a Dalmatian or a sheriff or superhero, and they can experience different perspectives. So this is some research from a Case for Play report from the UK with sense.org. 95% of parents said that parents of children with multiple needs require support to find ways to play with their children. And children with multiple needs have significantly fewer opportunities to access play than their non-disabled peer. But that's something that we want to help change. Many children with disabilities have few areas in their lives in which they feel able to exercise real choice and control. And play can be a process through which they can regain that sense of self-control, or that sense of control, or work through difficult and challenging experiences. So play and work, they're not quite the same thing. It's all about the agenda, and if you have an agenda to play, such as, you know, learning, you have an objective or a goal, like learning a color or a number, then it becomes work. But what brings those things together is fun. And motivation is really important. What motivates you might not be the thing that motivates another person. So do keep that in mind. Work can be fun, and choosing something that's motivating it has to be of interest to that individual so that you get the best results possible, more cooperation and engagement. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the benefits of play. We're going to find games or areas of interest, or finding games and areas of interest are the best starting point to ensure fun and engagement, and it prepares them for the future, including, you know, being in a school setting or in a work setting. So play helps children develop language and reasoning skills, encourages autonomous thinking and problem solving, as well as helps improve their ability to focus and control their behavior. It also aids children to learn discovery and to develop verbal and manipulative skills manipulative skills in a manner of controlling their environment and figuring out how to make things work for them. Judgment and reasoning and creativity. So the skills that are so important in development come from play experiences, and providing as many of those play experiences as we can. Some of the learnings of those are coping skills, learning to deal with being in different environments or situations, learning our limits, what we can and we can't do. Problem solving techniques like trial and error are also important and valuable that you can learn through play. Sharing and turn taking, cooperation, executive functioning skills, which are a set of mental skills that help you get things done. You also develop resilience. You can recover quickly when things go wrong. It teaches you to take initiative, to take risks, and making mistakes are actually good because they're also learning experiences. Managing your emotions are important. Learning verbal and nonverbal skills where applicable. It spurs creativity and imagination, and it builds perseverance. It gives you also cultural awareness. There are differences among peers, and inclusion and acceptance are very important qualities as well. It teaches leadership, self-awareness, making choices, making sense of the world, language and vocabulary, seeing others' point of view, independence, developing your personality. It's a really long list, but it's all really valuable. So these are skills that a person is going to use in his or her everyday life as an adult, and this is where it begins. So we talked a little bit about learning through play and the benefits, but I think it's also really important to consider the access methods. So let's take a look at some of those before we get into the really fun stuff. So here we have, sorry, I just accidentally went too fast. But here we have different access methods that are available to customize one's communication system based on their needs. And it includes touch and key guards, as well as switches and joysticks and eye tracking as well. So today we're going to look mainly at eye gaze games or eye tracking games, but most of these can be adapted to different access methods. So how does eye tracking work? We won't go very deep into this, but I think it's important to know and maybe just to satisfy some curiosity as well. So first, it's lights, camera, action, right? First, the camera finds your eyes and makes sure that you're in an optimal position. So that should be somewhere in the green area when you're looking at the track status. And it analyzes your eye movement. So your eye tracking, it tracks both light and dark pupil, which are two tracking methods that Tobii Dynavox is the only company that uses both methods to ensure the most dynamic and optimal eye tracking results. You use it to point and to select items on the screen, which is basically fixating on the intended item to select it. So that's kind of eye tracking in a nutshell. And it's also really important to note the eye gaze pathway. Communication and learning are the focus points of the eye gaze pathway, and these steps show that communication is present from the very beginning. This is a recommended guide on how to start to help you develop skill using eye gaze. So for instance, you can choose your own starting point. Typically, we recommend that you start at the beginning, but everyone is different. So use what works for you or the starting point that works for you. For example, in screen engagement, you're trying cause and effect, and you're moving the mouse with your eyes, and you're discovering, wow, there's something happening on the screen when I look at it. And in other stages, you get deeper into full control of the computer and eye gaze, and it leads to a much richer experience. So the practice activities that are part of the eye gaze pathway, so that's any activity that accomplishes one of these goals, are designed to demonstrate that communication is evident each step of the pathway, regardless of the learner's experience with eye gaze. And learning objectives are connected to each practice activity. These relate both to eye gaze skill that is practiced and the vocabulary that's developed through attempting the activity. The key is to learn to move things, select things, and that takes time and practice. So we're working on giving people access to more games. Users have been requesting access to games that their peers are playing that are either more advanced or just sound really fun, like FIFA. Maybe their siblings or their peers are playing these advanced games, and everyone wants to be part of it. So our goal is that everybody can play. Okay, so now we're gonna have some fun. Now we're gonna look at some games in 4 different areas. So the areas that I've selected are not clinical by any means, but they're just areas that I sort of narrowed down to motivation games, educational games, cooperative games, and leisure or independent player games. So these are also skill building for and are the stepping stones of being able to access AAC, your AAC system with various access methods such as eye gaze and your language communication system such as Communicator 5 or SnapCore First. And even when a user isn't, or even when a game is not overly academic, playing games both alone and in group can be an important learning tool for kids. Games teach kids how to plan, how to make decisions, how to make and understand strategy. They teach them rules and objectives. And in addition, games encourage the ability to focus and lengthen attention span. So let's take a look at some motivation games, which are mostly cause and effect related or sensory related, and you can practice your skills like fixating and responding to visual as well as auditory stimuli. So sensory eye effects is a tool of games, and there are many games here that can help build eye gaze skills and also confidence, and they're fun. They could be used for assessment as well, and to motivate activity and learning. So they can be accessed with various access methods and also based on different varying needs. So we're going to take a look at one game in particular from sensory eye effects. So this is Maxon. At the time of this video, he was 18 months old. And in this video, we're going to look at how Maxon interacts with the screen and what's going on in the screen. So Maxon has visual impairments, and his father is there with him alongside while Maxon is playing a cause and effect game by sensory eye effects called blank screen engagement. So let's take a look at that.
That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. You made that. I know.
Okay, so I'll just pause it there. The video can be quite long. We don't see when Maxon starts to fill the screen with colors, but we do see that he is interacting with the screen using eye gaze. He's only 18 months old at this point with visual impairments, as I had mentioned earlier. And I think it's really important to note that we see that there is some recognition that he knows that he's causing this to happen. And I think it's a really exciting thing for the father to be able to see that his son is able to interact. And this is where communication begins. This is how it starts. And it's already happening, and we can help develop and improve that experience and that already at this young age. So that was Maxon, and that was the blank screen engagement by sensory eye effects. So we're going to look at some other fun games that we can try and play to build different skills. So this is a local company called Kinka. And I may have gotten ahead again of my, my screen doesn't want to behave the way I want it to. But anyway, this is a Polish company called Kinka, and you may know them. They also produce eye gaze games, and we're going to look at two examples from them today. The first is balloons, which has various difficulty levels, easy, medium, hard, to help challenge the user and to help move them further down the eye gaze pathway and to practice those fixating skills. So here the person is going to practice holding their gaze, and that's quite a tiring experience if you've never tried it before. It takes practice and time. So it's good to find a game that interests and motivates. So let's take a look at this game. What kid doesn't like balloons? So it starts off on the easy level. And you can see that there. It moves quite quickly when you fixate on the balloons. And now this is the medium one. It takes a little bit more focus to train your eyes to hold their gaze in order to fill the balloon and release it. Yay. So then now this is the hard level. And you can see the difficulty level is stepped up. It's much harder. So much more challenging for the user, but it's a really great tool to motivate and to build self-confidence and just to have some fun as well, but to train your eye gaze skills. So let's see. What I wanted to show you was the website, but I'll share the link with you in the resources so that you can see how to access Kinka. But you can also talk to Kasia about that. So here is another Kinka game, and this one is Memory, and everyone knows Memory, right? It's like one of our favorite childhood games. So this is a really great game that helps develop targeting, concentration, and also memory skills, and of course, it's fun, and there are also various levels of difficulty. So let's take a look at Kinka. And again, all of these games have various access methods, so you can use them not only with eye gaze, but in combination with eye gaze and switch, or touch and key guard. So just to keep that in mind. So we're matching the animals, and now we have 12 cards. It's a little bit more difficult, but it really does develop those memory skills and concentration, as well as targeting as the targets become smaller. And this is the super hard level. So now we have to work a little bit harder and have a lot more to remember, but it's excellent practice. Okay, so now we'll move to the next activity. Actually, I will pause to just take any questions. Does anyone have any questions, or does Kasia want to comment?
Czy ktoś z Państwa ma pytania do tej części? Ja jeszcze tak tylko szybki komentarz odnośnie Kinki. Tutaj jest bardzo ważna sprawa taka, że ona ma mnóstwo ustawień, także można sobie dać na przykład zupełnie tło czyste, albo ciemne, albo jasne, także możemy weryfikować i poziom trudności, ale też poziom na przykład natężenia dźwięku, jeżeli chodzi o dzieci na przykład z nadwrażliwością słuchową, ale też jeżeli chodzi o intensywność tych kolorów i tła. Thank you.
You're welcome. So there are not just games that you can interact with on your screen. There are games that you can interact with in what I like to call 3D or in real life that are infrared controlled, and it can be trains, it can be a minion robot, it can be so many different things, and these bring play to another level. They're super fun, and being able to have that sense of control over your environment, to make decisions, to move something is a really important skill in order to help develop confidence as well as learning about your environment. So let's take a look at this video about how to control your minion robot, which I think is really fun. I'm not sure that the volume is super great on this video, but I think just by watching it, you can get a good sense if you can't hear it.
I know many of you are asking, how do we use eye gaze control applications to control via infrared or via other devices? How can we control toys? The whole idea is to have the child have the go at interacting with toys and controlling them, not only to teach cause and effect, but also to have fun and to be inclusive in all the games. So one of the options that we're showing you today is how to use this box called Toy Box. It's from a company called BJ Live in Spain. BJ creates a toy box that connects to the USB port in an eye tracker, and then it has a small application that allows you to program every one of these buttons to control a toy. Like any normal adapted toy can be used. In this case, what we try to show is we've chosen the 4 buttons buttons that are available in the back. They are adapted already for this remote control that is supposed to control a minion toy. And what we will do, as you can see on the screen here, we have created a small interface for a child. Simply look, and then the minion will turn around. And then we can have minion play with magic carpets. So it's like as if I'm having an avatar as a toy coming in and controlling.
So I might have accidentally paused that, but I think you get the point of it. Here, Camille, he's one of our partners, and he's using or set up Communicator 5 in order to control the infrared device, and which plugs into the eye gaze system and is able to control the minion. But it's not just minions, or robots. It can be cars, trains. There are a lot of fun things that you can do. And also this really gives an opportunity for children or adults to also share this experience and participate and play together. So they're not only learning, how to control things in their environment and experiencing that boost of confidence for independence, but they're also they can share that experience with others and have a lot of fun. So,
Idalie,
yes.
may I just a comment?
Yes.
Tak jak Państwo widzieliście, to jest akurat minionek obsługiwany przez Kamila, ale to może być dowolna zabawka, która jest sterowana na podczerwień. I to może być oczywiście iSeries, może być to na przykład PCI Mini też. I do tego po prostu dobieramy odpowiednie dostawki i możemy dobrać zabawkę taką, która będzie bawiła dziecko. Nie wszyscy kochają minionki, chociaż może akurat wszyscy, ale mogą to być samochodziki, a mogą być lalki, mogą być dinozaury. Wszystko, co jest na podczerwień, może być sterowane i za pomocą przycisków, i za pomocą wzroku z poziomu komputera. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to look at some other IR fun examples. We're going to move on to... Okay, so now we're going to check out a remote control wall climbing car. How cool is that? I have one of these. It's actually really cool. But in this example, the car is controlled with infrared and also on Communicator 5 page set. And you can see the user controlling it and how the car is able to move around. It's super fun, it's super motivating and engaging, and it empowers the child, in this case, to feel like they're in charge of what's happening, and they're using this with eye gaze. But again, you can also combine this with other access methods or all access methods. So let's take a look at this really cool car.
Yeah, I don't know if it,
So it was a super short video, but I think you get the idea. There's a lot of sensory experience going on here as well. It's really cool. And oops, sorry. So now we're going to talk a little bit about educational games and how we can work with those to incorporate different scenarios that include learning. Everything includes learning here, but we're going to have some fun doing it. So let's check out some of the options. I think it's really important to emphasize that reading is also an activity and that needs to be nurtured in order to spark interest in books, but also it gives a chance to, or opportunities to learn new words, learn about the world around you, how things work, to be able to comment, to make choices. And, we're going to take a look. Oh, we are taking a look. Sorry, I thought I had a video for this one, but basically this is a Polish book on trains that I believe Kasia created, and it provides the child not only with time to bond with the other participants, so it can be a sibling, it could be a grandparent, a parent, a friend, a teacher. It can be used in any environment, and so it provides not only the ability to learn new words and experiences, it also provides that bonding opportunity and a chance to develop those communication opportunities like learning about new words and vocabulary. And also it gives the opportunity to comment, to make choices. There's an auditory response, and all of this is in Communicator 5. So I downloaded this book from PageSet Central, which is on mytobiidynavox.com. It's in Polish, isn't that exciting? So you can go ahead and go there, and I'll show you where that is later if you're unfamiliar with it. But you can download this and you can easily put it on your Communicator 5 communication device, or your communication device with Communicator 5. And you can also edit it to add layers or pages, or to make it your own if you want to change the colors. I mean, you can absolutely do that. You can also make it high contrast if you'd like. So it's very easy to do. It works with all access methods as well. And it's easy to make your own. I said that. Okay, so we can move on. So this is one of my favorite classic games growing up. I think it's an international game. I hope you know it, but if you don't know it, it's a super fun game and you should go out and get it and play with it. It's a multiplayer game, but you can play with 2 people, and it's also educational. Here you can learn not only about numbers and counting, going in chronological order, or learning about odd and even. You can even play color matching and use modeling as well. You can play Uno. I never said the name, so it's Uno. But you can play Uno to introduce simple mathematic principles like simple addition and simple subtraction. And also you can learn turn taking, which is a very important skill. You can use these either within a page set in Communicator 5 or in SnapCore First to help with participation, and it works with all access methods. So we're going to look a little more closely at some other options, but this is a really fun one. And also you can, if you're playing with cards, you can also, this idea was shared with me by one of my colleagues who helped me build this presentation. Her name is Shona Mitchell. I don't know if she's here today or not, but she had a great idea, which was to take one of those noodles, one of those pool noodles, and cut it in half so you get kind of like a loop that goes like this. And then you can cut a slit through the top and put the cards inside so that the player, the user, can also participate with actual cards if he or she has limited motor or some limited or working motor ability. Either way, they can have the cards there and use them to play. They can also play with eye gaze or not. But there's so many options to motivate and inspire kids and help them have those play opportunities to learn. So let's look at some more of them. I'm getting excited because I'm getting closer to one of the ones that I really love. So in SnapCore First, you have lots of different play options, and you can also add your own other ones or edit them. But for a toddler, building blocks aren't just about making towers, for instance. We're going to look at blocks and Legos. And so here you have the opportunity it's another way to learn colors and practice building skills, which develops gross motor skills, self-expression, trial and error skills, learning about your surroundings, or a topic, even math, that you can do with Legos. And you can use colors. I mean, it's really a really great way to interact and extend the play beyond the screen to real life play. And you can build whatever you want. You can make the topic about jungle animals. It can be anything. So you can use SnapCore First to introduce colors. talk about a topic, as I mentioned, and you can build together. So it's a great opportunity also to experiment. So another one of my personal favorites, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head on Snapcore First. So there's so many games that you can play that are readily available to you. You can use this to teach about body parts, labeling, and in this kind of play, you're also giving the child to cause something to happen. They can, pretend to be Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head and play dress up with them, and they're also causing something to happen to their toy and in this environment rather than something happening to them, which is fairly common trait for people who are disabled. So this is a really fun way to play and to motivate, and you can edit the page set to include other buttons or other items. So it can be, adding Chewbacca fur if you're playing Mr. Potato Head Star Wars, or it can be, adding the Batman cape if you're playing Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head, Batman or Batgirl. So it's super fun, and any access method works, and you can play. There's so many great ways to do this. You can also build a page set in a Communicator 5 very easily, and you can probably find one that's in existence on Page Set Central and just edit it to make it your own, to add some things, some features like a Batman mask or whatever it is that you're playing. So our favorite neighbor, Mr. Rogers, that we talked about earlier, once said that play gives children a chance to practice what they're learning, and that couldn't be more true. So now we're going to talk about cooperative games. So these are games that you can play with families, friends, peers. You can do so many different things like roll the dice or play board games, or Simon Says and using different access methods, even like assisted scanning for a car position, for example. And it gives the chance to build strong relationships, not only with family, but with others in your life, other people that are in your environment, friends, peers at school. And even professionals. So it's central, it's absolutely central to parent and child bonding, and it helps adults also to develop their parenting skills. It's a way for parents to undertake parent-child interaction therapy to build relationships, improve communication, and raise aspirations for their child. So very motivating for everyone. And now we're going to take a look at some cooperative game examples. I talked a little bit about rolling dice. So the video, I'm pretty sure on this one is not, the sound on this video, I'm pretty sure is not good. But basically, this is a rolling the dice page in Communicator 5. And the sound works fine in Communicator 5. It's just that not on my video of this experience. But I'll just play this video and you can see what rolling the dice looks like. So it gives a child or whomever, adult, the opportunity to be able to participate in a game. I downloaded this from Page Set Central as well on my Tobii Dynavox, and it has many practical implications as well as than the obvious, like rolling the dice. You can also, do math with it. And learn numbers, and it's accessible from any access, with any access method. And it really does create inclusion opportunities where you can not only participate in games like board games, but learn to count and do simple mathematical equations like addition or subtraction with the dice. Okay, so you can also do that on Snapcore First, and you can play Monopoly, one of the most, I think, internationally known games. And you can play board games together using any access method. You can roll the dice in Snapcore first as well. And there are many types of games, especially Monopoly, that help develop strategic thinking, that nurture useful skills for the future, such as negotiating, very important. My 5- and 6-year-olds, they are really good at negotiating, and usually they win, so maybe I'm not that great at negotiating. It also helps develop relationships, and these are skills that are the building blocks, or will be the building blocks of success in various environments, such as interacting with friends or at work or school with peers and colleagues. So these games are really not only fun, but also really develop important life skills that will be useful later. So here we're gonna look at a little bit of modeling. So in this example, we're learning language, and I love the title of this video. I didn't name it, so I can't take credit, but it's called Cookies and Core. And here, this family is, they're baking together. They're using touch with a switch to do the baking. And it's a really nice activity that's fun and engaging and can involve multiple people. So let's just take a quick look at this video as well. It's really nice. And I'm just going to double check the sound, because it looks like the sound is muted, but why? I'm not sure why, but I think you can get the gist of it just by watching. So Philip is a little boy with the glasses, and he has cerebral palsy. And his mom, and his brother are baking together, and she's using Snapcore first to model the activity and what's going on. And she's saying, do you want to make the device go? And then she'll make the device go for him, which is a really great way to model. And then she'll also use the color section to talk about some of the ingredients, like white sugar. In this case, she's going to talk about brown sugar and ask who wants to put in the brown sugar. And so his brother will do that, and Philip will watch. And you can just see, I mean, it's really just a sweet and fun activity. And who doesn't like baking? You get to eat it after, so you get to reap the rewards of your hard work. And there she is modeling language and incorporating this real life experience and activity with communication, which is really great. So now Philip is going to take the white sugar, and she pressed white, and the device, the communication device, and Snapcore first say white. So she's continuing her modeling experience, and he's going to put the sugar in now. And then they're going to want to make it go. Now she's saying that she likes it. And now they're going to make it go. So she's pressing go, and then his brother's doing it, and now they're doing it together to make it go. So it's really nice for the, for Philip and his brother and his mom to do, for Philip's brother and Philip's mom to do modeling for Philip, so that he can not only be part of this baking experience, use his communication, build his vocabulary, but to participate. So I hope you enjoyed that Cookies and Core video, because I love it. So I hope you do as well. It's fun and it's engaging, and it's a great way to build the relationship, the bond, the motor skills, as well gross motor skills and fine motor skills. And now we'll take a look at the next one. So we talked a little bit earlier about eye gaze and infrared, but here we're using eye gaze and a switch. And also this is another baking activity, which I think is a really high interest activity for kids, because they get to see the results of their work at the end. And of course, It's a tasty one, so who doesn't like an indulgent opportunity, but it's working on vocabulary, it's building, we talked about building a bond. It's also just more opportunities to communicate and improve expand your communication skills. So we're gonna take a look here. This is a little girl named Ava, and she has Rett syndrome. She uses a new iSeries, to communicate with her mom, and she loves to bake. So she's working on her gross motor skills and using her switch to control the mixer. It's super motivating and fun activity, and hopefully the sound works on this one. But if not, you'll be able to follow.
We need some more mixing, Ava. Thank you. Wow. Okay, can you go again? Good job. You're doing it, Ava. Okay, what do you think? You stop when you think it's ready, okay? Good job. Okay. Let's see what else. Oops. Let's see what else we need, Ava. Let's look at our ingredients.
Ingredients. This is going to be delicious.
I think you're right. It is going to be delicious. Good mixing. Good mixing. Keep grabbing it. Wow. Wow, Eva. Eva, you got good mixing. Good mixing. Ava, you're doing so good. Whoa.
I can do it.
You sure can. Are we going to eat it? Are we going to eat your cake now, Ava? Are you going to try it? I know. Can you believe you made something so delicious? Look at that cake.
Really?
Yes, really. We're going to try it now. Are you excited? Are you excited to try it?
Pretty good.
It looks pretty good. Let's cut it. Dun, dun, dun.
So that was Ava participating in baking using eye gaze and a switch to activate the mixer, and now she gets to eat the cake. But it develops, I feel like maybe I'm repeating myself quite a bit, but I just really want to drive the point home that these are all learning opportunities, and it's an activity that it's play. So it's really important and really fun to do together, and it also builds that bond. You get to control your environment, you create something out of your environment, so it also fosters creativity. It's really fun.
We need some more.
So this is another really cool program that I stumbled upon, actually also with Ava. Ava's mom really pushes her daughter with a lot of physical therapy, and she's a stay-at-home educator now, so she's working full-time with Ava and trying all kinds of things, and they have this really beautiful journey that she's sharing on her Facebook page and showing all of the tools that she's using and Ava's sassiness, and it's just really, it's really inspiring to watch this family and some of the things that they're doing. So I want to show this really cool experience because here, this is two sisters making melodies together and music, and they're using Chrome Music Lab, which is a web browser program, and it's a website, and you can use, it works with eye control, or eye gaze, scanning, switch, touch, so all access methods, and singing, playing simple music, and singing and playing and using musical instruments helps to develop rhythm and listening and hearing skills. And it's important that learning is fun because it needs to be about doing things that they like. And there might be some unusual ways of doing things, but it's fun and creative and experimental. So it's great to let them try and develop those skills and those interests. So let's take a look at this. I think you'll also think it's fun, and it's free.
That'd be cool. Claire likes to do rhythmic patterns.
Can I share?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, so why don't you press play at the same time? Here, I'll help you. Ready? 3. Oh, you're gonna do it, Ava?
See?
No. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice, Ava. You change the chord?
I get that.
This is really cool. What are you doing? Oh, is this gonna make a melody on that side, Clara? Okay. You looking at what Clara's doing? Ooh, kind of goes together.
So this is just a fun activity that inspires not only sharing an experience with someone, could be a sibling. In this case, it's Clara, her sister, as she was writing her name on the screen. But it also fosters creativity and is a really fun activity that also leads to art appreciation, and arts are very important as well in developing skills and tools that you'll use later in life. So that was Chrome Music Lab, and I will share the link with you later. Now we're going to look at a bit more leisure and independent types of player games, and we're going to take a look at those. So we're going to start with one called Digital Painters. So this is a private project that's under development by Lars Tiedemann. He is a Tobii Dynavox employee. He works on the clinical team, and he's educated in inclusive education. And with this software, the user can make creative experiences and be an artist at a glance. So you can do drawings with your eyes, with mouse movements and voice, and it's easy to use. It has an interface that's optimized to use with eye gaze systems, but it works with various methods. I will show the video first, and then I want to talk a little bit more about art. So let's take a look. So I'm not sure if there is sound present in this video or not, but you can see here how easy it is to select colors and styles of drawing. If you want a thin or thicker paintbrush, if you want to mix colors, and you can create your own art, whatever it is, and that develops really important skills like creativity, but also self-confidence, and which leads to, you know, that feeling of independence as well. So you can also use it on different backgrounds. So here, this is a darker background, and you can see there's also cause and effect related to this. Not only are you creating art, but you can see that when you're looking, something happens, colors change. It's really fun and allows you to be creative, and it's just using a click or an eye gaze as a click. So there's a famous quote by a German artist that Joseph, I'm going to totally say his name wrong, so I apologize if we have any German speaking people here, Joseph Beuys, and his quote is that everyone is an artist, and it's probably also the most misunderstood statement, because he's not saying that everyone is an artist in the usual sense of that expression, like a painter or sculptor, but he's using the word artist to describe the essence of what it means to be a human being, the deep need and fundamental ability to create and to be creative. So in this sense, everyone is an artist, means that everyone can and needs to be creative. So you can be an artist mother, you can be an artist child, a politician, a bus driver, anyone can be an artist. It doesn't matter what your means of expressions are. Being an artist means being creative in whatever is available, in whatever way is available for and feels natural to you. So self-expression and confidence skills are certainly ones that are built here. And I'm sure there are others that I'm just not thinking of, but it's a really neat tool. So that was digital painters. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about some games that I think are quite popular, like Minecraft, and you can use eye gaze with Minecraft. So this picture is Becky Tyler, who is from the UK, and you can see on her screen that she's playing Minecraft. But we're going to look at, so that's just a picture, but we're going to look at an example of another young person. So here we go. This is Tiago, and we're going to watch a video of him playing Minecraft with his Tobii Dynavox eye tracker. And building things gives such an important sense of creativity and pretend. Those are important skills to foster in anyone, you know, in adults as well. So we're watching him here. Look how easy it is and how much fun he's having building that, building his world, his imaginary world or his real world on screen. It's also a really great way to learn programming. So a lot of really important essential life skills are built with games like this. And also kids just want to have fun and they want to play the games that their friends are playing. So this gives opportunity for everyone. It's a super inclusive opportunity. Everyone can play and you can share those experiences with your friends and talk about them. So, okay, I think we can probably move on with this, but you can see how it works and it's very cool. So that was using your eye gaze device to play Minecraft. So now another popular game is Angry Birds. So here the user is playing Angry Birds using computer control, and it's a function in our most advanced eye-controlled software, typically used by more advanced and literate users. But interestingly, many symbol users learn advanced computer control skills before they necessarily learn to read or write. So, and this is true across all AAC. So here, let's check out this Angry Birds game. So here we're selecting, make a click. We're going to move the target where we want to shoot.
Så hvis du sikter av den, då kraschar du hela foten ned. Så du måste sikta ned så det han flyger upp.
This is really exciting.
Sikta ned. Ja, så pröv det. Släpp då. Oj!
Okay, so that was Angry Birds, a really popular game people just want to play. I see the chat flashing, but I can't, if I see the chat, then I don't know if anyone has any questions because I can't, then it covers my screen. So anyone have any questions, or does Kasia want to comment on anything?
It's all right. I've got all the questions covered. The question was generally how much does it cost, which is a very wide range of prices from it's free till several thousands of zloty. So please do contact me. Now I need to say it in Polish also. Padło pytanie od Państwa, jaki jest koszt wprowadzenia programów. To wszystko zależy. Duża część z tych rzeczy, które pokazuje Idalie, jest darmowa. Są dostępne po prostu online. Część jest oczywiście płatna. Jeżeli chodzi o same urządzenia, takie jak sterowanie za pomocą przycisku czy za pomocą wzroku, to oczywiście też mają swoje ceny. Można dostać dofinansowanie. Także jeżeli chodzi o ceny i o dobór, to byłoby najlepsze. Czy to zabawki, czy oprogramowanie, czy urządzenia, to zapraszam do kontaktu. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I think that we're all kids somewhere, right? Like in our hearts, we're all kids. We all love it, can relate to the experience of wanting to play and can understand how play does involve so many learning opportunities. I mean, I'm sitting here, I had so much fun dressing up today, and I'm sitting here with my, can you see this? It's not a coincidence that my boys have this as a toy. It's because I love Toy Story as well, and it's not a coincidence that I'm dressed as a sheriff, although I don't match exactly. But we all love to play. Adults should also play because it keeps you. It's a stress relief as well for kids. It allows them the opportunity to blow off some steam and to learn how to manage their emotions, how to also relax. So this isn't just for kids. Like, play is for everyone. But of course we're talking about kids today. But I just wanted to share because the kid in me is, jumping up and down at all of these really great opportunities that we can share with everyone. So we'll keep it AAC though. Okay, and this is our final example. So I don't know if I'm probably running late, but maybe not too much today. So the last one we're going to look at is Maya. She's a young Polish girl, and she's using Communicator 5 to control Google Home and Spotify. And, we talked a little bit earlier about, music and creativity and how singing and exploring new music and playing musical instruments helps to develop and understand rhythm, as well as improve and develop listening and hearing skills. It's also important, and it's really important that learning is fun. It needs to be about doing the things that people like to do, because that's the biggest motivator, that is the key to success. So let's look at Maya.
Okay, Google, turn on Lady Gaga.
All right, playing Lady Gaga on Spotify.
So she's using Communicator 5 and her eye gaze system to play music and to explore music.
Okay, Google, volume up.
She likes that song.
Okay, Google.
It's a good
okay,
song.
Google, volume up.
Do that smile. So, we wanted to hear the whole song, right? But we can't, because we'll be here for a while and I've already kept you over. But we're here, we're building creativity, we're giving opportunities for communication, we're strengthening our eye gaze skills, and we're building self-confidence and independent skills, but we're also giving the opportunity to control your environment, which is invaluable for when you're older. And we're going to get to a point where one day we're really close, if we're not there already, you can today control your TV, your radio, but maybe one day you're going to be able to make a cup of coffee from your iSeries device or your eye gaze device using environmental control. You can turn your lights on and off. You can control the temperature in your house. This is what the future looks like, and we want to bring it to you today. So it's not just about, you know, it's so much more. It's giving all of the opportunities to create as successful a future as possible by developing all the skills that we're going to need in our adult life today through play. So that's up. I just realized that I have some errors on this page, so sorry about that. But so thank you so much for sitting through another overtime presentation with me if you're joining again. Here are some of the free resources that I promised, and there are 2 on the bottom that you can just ignore, or you can Google them if you like. I haven't checked them out, although I intended to. But on Tobii Dynavox, you'll find the eye gaze pathway if you're interested. On our website, if you're interested in learning more about the pathway and the recommended guide, as well as activities to check those off through the pathway, you can go to tobiidynavox.com and you see the link there, and I'll leave this up for a minute in case you want to take a picture of it. But again, this is recorded, so you'll have access to it later. Also, our YouTube channel has so many different videos on how to get started on almost any topic you can think of. We also have Page Set Central, which I talked about quite a bit today, and it's really a very valuable resource because you can find really great communication page sets that or activities that other people have already put time and effort into creating, and you can just take them and make them your own by editing them, which is so much easier than starting from scratch. But if you have created something that if you've created something, share it. So Page Set Central I like to call it a sharing community because this is the most warm community I've ever known in my career. And this is a great way to share your work and make someone else's life easier and inspire them. Even if you think your work is not good, don't be shy, just share it to help someone, just the same way that you would like to find an activity to make your own. And I found so many today, including the Train interactive book that Kasha had made on Communicator 5. So you can do that as well. There are also web games on our website that are available for you to use, and including Digital Painters, but that's on Digital Painters website. And these are all free tools for you to check out, try, and use and incorporate into whatever your play activities will be, or your learning activities, and eye gaze games as well. And there is a Chrome Music Lab link. So I'll leave this up just for another minute. And again, don't worry if I move the screen to the next slide and you didn't get everything, because I promise we'll send this out to you. But what I would like to do next, while I talk, is I'd like to get your feedback on today's session. I want you to tell me what you thought worked or what you thought about today's session. So now I'm going to change the screen now that I gave you kind of like a heads up. It's Menti time. So if you could tell us what you liked most about today or what you benefited from, the information on how to do the Mentis on the next slide. So I will just take us there, and then we can look at it together, and I'll leave that up, but I'll just say the numbers out loud. The code for Menti is 999522, and you go to menti.com either from your web browser or from your telephone, and then you just enter in that code, and then you'll be prompted to the next screen where it will give you that page where you can share your feedback. So please do that. It would really be helpful.
Teraz chciałobyśmy Państwa zachęcić do tego, żebyście podzielili się z nami na Menti opinią i co najbardziej się Państwu podobało w dzisiejszym spotkaniu. Zapraszamy do wejścia na menti.com i kod do dzisiejszego spotkania 999522. Ja spróbuję go tu szybciutko, napiszę do wszystkich. Tak, kod do Menti 999522. Zachęcamy do podzielenia się z nami tym, co było dla Państwa najcenniejsze w dzisiejszym spotkaniu. Ja jeszcze tylko nadmienię, że Oczywiście te wszystkie linki zostaną Państwu udostępnione w nagraniu. Z polskich stron między innymi super się sprawdza Ciufcia. Nie wiem, czy Państwo znacie. Też bardzo ładnie chodzi pod eyetrackerem i na ekranach dotykowych, także Ciufcia. Zapraszamy tutaj do podzielenia się.
Don't worry, I won't hold you for 10 minutes while the voting closes. We'll just give it a couple of minutes. Like.
Także zapraszamy.
I wonder if my friend is here today.
Radek? He was, but I can't see him now. No, it was for some time.
Okay, you can, if you don't, or maybe I can share on Facebook that I was saying hello. And you can feel comfortable to write in whatever language works for you. So what's super fun about the word cloud is that the words that are used the most are the ones that are bigger in size. So it's super fun to see like the words that are, or the thoughts or feelings that are common among several people. So really cool.
We also have a lot of comments here on our chat. That it was very, very inspiring. And well, lots of lovely comments about videos, about new ideas and inspirations, and greetings from Polish seaside. And also a question, which software, which apps are free?
The ones that I put in the free resources, so Digital Painters is free, and there are some eye gaze games that are also on Tobii's website that are also free that I didn't show. Sensory IFX has some trials that you can check out, but then I believe once the trial runs out, you have to purchase. The Chrome Music Labs is also free. I'm trying to think of what else was in the presentation. Snapcore First has a free trial, but I would recommend talking to Kasia about that so she can walk you through it. And Communicator 5 also has a free trial. But yeah, there are the Digital Painter. I don't remember if I said that. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. But Digital Painter is also a free program and is really cool. Kasia can comment on Kinka further because she works with them, so she can help you there. But there are a lot of really cool free games out there, and we'll make sure that you get a copy or the recording, access to the recording, so that you can see the games that we mentioned, and you can check them out on your own time. But there are quite a good number of games that were free. I hope it helps answer your question.
Jest cała lista tych darmowych programów. Tam na nagraniu będzie free resource, czyli darmowe nagrania. Tutaj Kawę też, który jest z nami, wspomniał o tym, że to do tworzenia muzyki na Chromie jest za darmo. Poza tym takie programy jak Komunikator 5 czy Snap mają darmowe wersje demo, także też zapraszamy. Można sobie pobrać Kinka, nasza polska Kinka, zresztą tutaj z Poznania, autorstwa Ariadna Studio, też ma wersję demo. Zresztą nie jest to bardzo drogi program, a pięknie się sprawdza, ma dużo różnych ustawień. Ja bym jeszcze chciała tylko poprosić ze swojej strony, żebyście Państwo na momencik jeszcze zostali, żebyście nie odchodzili, bo mam coś dla Idali i chciałabym mieć świadków. Okay.
I always wonder what you're saying.
This was very, very, very. I was talking about you. Yeah, you cut me.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for the feedback. I really appreciate it. And Kasia and I, we've been doing this, not this particular webinar, but we've had a lot of webinars in the month of May and today in recognition of Children's Day. So we do hope that and are happy to hear that it was helpful and inspiring. Never stop playing and you'll never stop learning. So I just want to thank Kasia and Atabi for organizing this webinar and bringing us together. You know, we wanted to recognize Children's Day and share some fun ideas that you can easily incorporate into your play with your child and learn and make learning fun. And like I said, if you're interested in learning more about any of our products, talk to Kasia, as well as Kinka Games, talk to Kasia and she'll help you with more information and she'll also share the recording of the webinar. So a huge thank you again to Kasia and also to everyone who participated in today's webinar. And I hope you had fun. So I just want to say thank you from us. And also my colleague Shona, who I don't know if she joined today or not, but she did help shape the ideas for this presentation and webinar. So I just want to thank her, include her in the thank you as well. And we hope you had fun. Anything else, Kasia?
Yes. But I'm being because I've got some problem with connection. Do you hear me?
I do.
Okay, all right, okay. So, Idalie, and this is something where someone actually here said a few things that I wanted also to mention and to say. We would like to, thank you, Idalie Fernandez, for all your work. And this is to certify, from Polish kids that Idalie Fernandez from Tobii Dynavox is the loveliest and the sweetest friend and supportive of special education children in Poland. And thank you in the name of Polish children for your constant engagement and super professional webinar, not only today, but through all May and actually through all the year that you are with us. Thank you so much. It's an honor to cooperate with you, and for our kids, you are a superhero. And we can't give you this today, but we've got a special committee of our children who are going to give you this and a Dalmatian balloon, which doesn't work very well with green.
Wait, you're showing something? I can't see it. Okay, I have to stop sharing my screen then so I can see.
I will try to get rid of green screen. Okay, here I am.
Okay.
This is the balloon and your certification.
That's so awesome.
So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Super professional and passionate, as was mentioned a few times here, webinar. We've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now everyone be safe, take care, and I really hope I get to see you in person in Poland soon.
Mamy nadzieję, że zobaczymy się z Państwem jak najszybciej. Życzymy zdrowia, dziękujemy bardzo za Państwa obecność za dobre słowa i jesteśmy w kontakcie. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a lovely day.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.
Najlepszego
I
dla
love it, by the way.
Bye bye. Wszystkiego
Bye.
najlepszego dla dzieci. All the best to the kids in Sweden also. And to your lovely voice.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.